Okay, so today we're going to talk about how to create an effective PowerPoint presentation. This is a really important skill to have as a student, as you'll likely be asked to do lots of presentations, whether they're individual or group presentations. And also, you could have the opportunity to do this in your job. So the first thing when you open PowerPoint is you'll be prompted to choose a theme. Now here's where I think that a lot of people go wrong when they're creating presentations is they choose a theme that either does not fit with the content of their presentation, and number two, they often choose something that's too busy and ends up distracting their audience. So that's kind of my two guidelines whenever you're creating a presentation is make sure that number one, visually it fits with the content of what you're talking about. And second, make sure it is simple enough that it's not distracting. So I try to avoid themes like this one here, where it has a lot of images, or this, or it has a lot of different colors and bold fonts, because I think that those tend to be distracting for audience members. So I'm going to go ahead and pick something that's relatively simple. I'm going to pick this one here, and we're going to click Create. And we'll come up here. Now, the first thing that will always come up is a title slide. Up here in the Home ribbon, we have our New Slide option. And here is where, if you hit this drop-down dialog box, you can choose any number of different pre-designed slide templates based on the theme that you've chosen. So we have title and content, section header, we'll talk about that in a minute, a number of different content slides, title only, blank, content with caption, picture with caption. So you have all sorts of different options based on what sort of slides you're wanting to create. So the first thing you're always going to want is a title slide. And I'm just going to put something random in here. You'll probably want to put your name or class or something in the subtitle here. And then oftentimes, I think the first thing the first slide after the title slide that you want to insert is one of these section headers. And the section header does two things. It communicates to your audience what you're going to be talking about, so it kind of preps them. And number two, it helps divide different sections in your presentation. And of course, that depends on how long the presentation is, how many slides you're going to have. But so here in this example, the life of Christ, first thing I would say is birth, maybe birth and childhood. And of course, you can always delete things that you don't need. And then we can go title and content and say the birth of Christ, and then start putting in text. So I hope that this has helped you to see sort of some principles for how to design, how to go about designing, how to go about compiling an effective PowerPoint presentation.